If you are consistently having terrible design clients that make you feel like you just want to give up design, you don't even want to keep freelancing anymore, these clients want thousands and thousands of revisions, you feel like you can't make them happy, they aren't giving you feedback on time, they aren't paying their invoices on time, this video is for you. Now, I want to preface this by saying sometimes we just have a bad client. Every now and then, having a nightmare client, having a Karen for a client is normal and it happens. But if you are consistently having bad clients, nightmare clients over and over and over again, there is probably an issue that is more so on your part than the client's part. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video. The number one reason you might be having bad clients is because you need to improve your process. Not having a solid design process can result in a lack of boundaries, miscommunication, and a lot of frustration for both you and your client. When I say design process, I am referring to the minute a client inquires with you and has a call with you to actually conducting the project together and offboarding your client. If you do not have a streamlined design process when it comes to each and every one of those steps, it's going to cause a lot of those issues. For example, if you are communicating with your clients through email, but you also give them your phone number and you also text them at one point, or maybe you talk on the phone, that client may get the impression that it's okay to text you, that it's okay to call you. And this can result in very, very uncomfortable situations if your client starts texting you all the time and going beyond what a professional service provider relationship would typically involve. I am speaking from experience when I say this. When I first started design, I literally did that. I had a client that was texting me all the time, every day. It was extremely stressful. It gave me a lot of anxiety. And part of that is my fault because I did give that client my phone number. I didn't have a streamlined process and I didn't set those boundaries. So part of your process needs to be not only instructing your client on how to work with you, but where to communicate with you and how the entire project process is going to go step by step. How many revisions are they going to get? When can they hear back from you? When do they need to turn in feedback? How are files going to be distributed? What feedback questions do they need to answer? This is also why it's extremely important to have a project management system and not do everything back and forth through email. Project management system can completely change the way you do business with your clients because they allow your clients to be able to see all of the due dates. They know what you're doing, you know what the client's doing, they can see the deadlines, you can see the deadlines and hold yourself accountable to those deadlines, and it walks your client through your process in a digital format. So personally, all of my clients are required to communicate with me through my project management system. There are specific steps with deadlines that we check off as we go through the project so that we are both staying on track, getting things done, turned in on time, and neither of us ever feel lost while we are working together. I also make it very clear that I only allow 3 revisions maximum. I even say this in my introduction call with any potential clients. They all know before signing a contract with me that I only allow 3 refinements, and if they try to go above that, there's gonna be additional cost involved. This is something that a lot of designers have trouble setting boundaries with. The second reason you might be consistently getting bad clients is because you're not charging enough. This one really confuses people. They're like, how does me not charging enough result in bad clients? Well, it's because when you do not charge enough and you're charging bottom of the bucket, super cheap rates, and you're just trying to get clients by offering the lowest price, you're attracting price shoppers. And people that are price shoppers typically only care about getting the best deal. They're looking for the cheapest price. They're not looking for quality work because they don't actually understand the true value of strategic good design, meaning they aren't really ready to make a significant investment in design because they don't actually see that much value in it. So even if they invest in you and you're offering them this really good low ticket deal, they're still going to have a ton of doubts, a ton of questions the entire time you're working together, lots of different ideas, and it's probably going to be a stressful experience for you as the designer because you know the value that you're providing them, but since they can't see that and they haven't made a significant investment, they aren't going to take the project seriously, and they're also going to constantly question your expertise. Oftentimes you'll find that higher ticket clients are also higher quality clients. Not all the time, but I have personally noticed going from $75 logos to $10,000 plus clients that my higher ticket clients easily follow my design process. They trust my expertise, and I don't really have a ton of nightmare clients at this point in my design business. Whereas when I first started and I was working with a lot of low ticket clients, I had a lot of those difficult situations because number one, I didn't have a design process, but number two, I also wasn't charging enough to get those high quality clients that recognize the value of design. The third reason you might be attracting bad clients is because you're simply marketing to the wrong people. If you're trying to offer brand identity packages that cost thousands of dollars, but you're constantly marketing to people that only care about a logo design or people who have no idea what branding even means, you have to do your job to not only educate them, but make sure you're creating content that's going to attract people who understand and are ready to invest in brand identity design, not just get a $5 logo. This is why it's extremely important to know your target audience and be very specific about who you're trying to target. Learn what their lifestyle is like, what are their interests, what types of products or services does their business offer, and how can you create design content that's going to educate them, attract them, resonate with them, and ultimately make them want to reach out and invest in your service. Now let's review the 3 reasons discussed in this video why you might be consistently attracting bad clients. Number 1, you need to improve your design process. This is the most common, biggest issue among designers and client relationships. Number 2, you're not charging enough. You're not attracting clients who see the value in the services you are offering. And number 3, you're marketing to the wrong people who aren't yet ready for the services you're offering or don't yet understand the value that they can provide. If you have questions about the topics discussed in this video, leave them down below so I can answer them or make another video about them in the future. If you found this helpful, I highly recommend checking out my podcast, The Unapologetic Designer. I have a ton of episodes on there all about how to raise your prices as a designer, set those boundaries, and attract dream clients. And lastly, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel for future design content. I'll see you in the next video.